Okay. Okay, so today we're playing a game about, well, this is technically my first time playing this, so let's get right into it. Okay. So, I'm pretty excited because it's basically about like maybe a computer maybe, but I never played this game until now. So, whoa, where am I? I'm a narrator. Whoa, I can move. This is just like super limited.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, so all the workers are gone? What could that be? Beautiful paintings, nice office. We got 40, we got 420, bunch of lockers. What's it? Well, I can't look in the lockers. Let's just find out what's going on here.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I can't decide if I want to open the door on my left or the door on my right. I kind of want to go in the door on my right. Oh wait, my right. Well, I tried. Guess we can't see what was right.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay, so there's nobody in the closet room, maybe? Can I barge in here? No, I can't.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Nope. Nope. I walked the back stairs. Oh, it's just a red light. What is this? I wish I could pick that up. What if I walk down here?
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. "I'm dreaming!" he yelled. "This is all a dream." Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid.
Oh, wait.
So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
It's
Then
an
he
infinite
imagined
way.
himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too
No!
appeared. It
What's
was so
happening?
much fun, and Stanley marveled
so
that he had
close?
still not woken up. How
What's
was
the
he
like
remaining so
stars?
lucid? And then perhaps the
space?
strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why
think the
is
mind
there a
goes more
voice in my
quickly.
head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the
Maybe
voice was
something else
describing
like
itself
going
being
over
considered by Stanley,
Can I get
who found it
soda?
particularly strange. I'm dreaming
that's how
about
you
a
like
voice
duck.
describing me, thinking about how it's
Wallpaper.
describing my thoughts, he thought.
Paper.
And while he thought it all very
wallpaper
odd
kind
and
of
wondered if this voice spoke to all
maybe
people
this
in their
is
dreams,
really
the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley
it's
simply
different.
deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself?
Okay, yeah, it's definitely
Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to
Can I go
Stanley.
backwards?
After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up.
No!
He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake
Is
up,
that it?
he thought to himself.
Okay,
I'm
no way
through
that
with this
can be
dream.
it.
I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want.
You want to push
I want my apartment, and my wife, and my
that
job.
do for work?
All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am
Okay, can you
okay.
open your eyes now? I'm back here. Everything's normal.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am
my
real.
God,
I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh, I died. I'm dead. I got
This is the
deleted.
story of a woman named Mariella.
Oh, now Mariana?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Okay. Loading. So that was actually pretty cool. We were a man that was asleep, maybe, and then he passed out. Passed out in his sleep? Is that possible? Well, yeah, it's kind of possible, though. Oh, we're back here. Can I do anything on the computer? Are we the man again?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I have to do this again? Come on. Maybe we actually have to listen to the guy, like, so close to my face, just telling me what to do. Oh, the door didn't shut on me this time. My pants are gone again, and somebody spilled coffee on the perfect yellow carpet. He's brutal. So, who's putting a cup of coffee on a chair? Does anybody do that? Because I know I don't.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Just to admire it, I want to see people. I'm going to employee lounge.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
The first open door on my left. Nope. Nope. You don't tell me what to do.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Oh, where am I now? I know now.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
You don't tell me
I
what
realize
to do,
that investing your
Olivia.
trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been
You don't tell me
neglecting,
what to do,
Stanley.
man.
Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is
Yeah,
it, Stanley.
but you can tell me
Your
what to
chance
do.
to redeem yourself. To put your work
I'm a
aside.
grown adult.
To let her back into your life.
Who is
She's
her?
been waiting.
Who's been waiting? I think this is the right way because he's saying way more than he did in the previous way. Oh, now I'm going into space. Whoa.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
I can't. I don't have any hands. Look, I'm trying. Can I just unplug it? Okay, I'm locked in a room. Can I just open this? Oh, all I have to do is press X on the phone. And now God sent me to heaven. Or maybe I just woke up. And now I'm in another simulation.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven.
Finally,
All right.
people.
Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did
Why
you
did
actually
you
think
do
you had a
this?
loving wife?
I
They'd
wanna
want to
see
commit
my
their life to
naked
you.
wife.
I'm trying to make a point
Why
here,
did you
Stanley.
make my
I'm
wife
trying to get you to
naked?
see something. Come inside.
Why is my
Let me
wife
show you what's
white,
really
too?
going on here.
What? Wife, can you make me a
This is a
sandwich?
very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Yeah. No. No.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Yeah.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now He's eating lunch.
What if I don't
Now
push
he's
the
going
button?
home. Now
What if
he's
I
coming
just
back
stop
to
pressing
work.
the buttons?
One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Yeah, you made my wife white. Nope, not gonna press it. Am I really forced to?
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown,
Well, at least I got farther
fantastic
than
discoveries
before.
of new lands.
Last
It
time I
was
go to
wonderful.
hell,
And each
now I'm
day
in,
that he
like,
returned to
some
work
creepy
was a
heaven.
reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so
Watch
he began
TV.
to fantasize about his own job.
Where's the
First, he
TV?
imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations.
No way.
Down one path lay an enormous round room
my house
with
is
monitors
becoming
and
the
mind
office.
controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
I don't think I want to keep going.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real one.
Office. I don't want to press.
And I'm trying to tell him this. That in this
wanna go
world,
to
he can
Please Go.
never be anything but an observer. That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop.
Let me out.
Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Nope.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
I don't have any pants.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to.
My
I
wife,
must.
she's gone.
Perhaps,
She became a
maybe this
desk.
time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
Please
and Stanley
die.
pushed a button.
No, I don't
And
want
I
to die.
tried again.
No,
And Stanley pushed a button.
no,
And I tried.
I'm dead. I got sent to hell again. Or maybe not. I think that's what I meant to do. Okay, there's plenty of endings in this game, so that's why I'm so excited to play this game. Because there's like plenty of specifics that you can do. Oh, am I really back here? I knew I died. Can we like go on the computer actually? Nope. Can we open any other doors?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Meeting room.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, I will. Because I actually want to get another ending. And I hope there's like rewards in this.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Well, I go and say, whoa, I like this. Fancy. What's in this room? Nothing? But we have all this fancy stuff, and then we have a door that looks like a doctor's office. Did it just close up? Okay, I knew it was a 9mm.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
I can click all day.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Yeah, but how do I do it? Where does it go? Okay, maybe I should have listened to him because...
2845.
What? 2485? Yeah, I know. Oh, wait, 2...
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
I almost didn't do the whole password. Does that just turn off the lights? Nope. Okay, now I feel safe. Are we... What's in here? Ooh, I like buttons. I don't think I should click that button. Well, my job is clicking buttons, but... Loading. Loading, 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 loading. It just keeps saying loading. Is that a good thing or
Descending
bad thing?
deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
No, any room but this room. Chloe. Did I just jump down? I want to jump down. No. Can I touch something?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Mind control. Wait. It says escape.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Well, I don't trust you, so I'm gonna go with the lead pencil escape.
The door behind him was not shut.
Pencil.
Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Stop talking about me dying. Oh, yeah, maybe I should trust the auto. Wait, what? Whoever he is. Ever the end is ever. Never the end is never the end. Yet it's never end. Ow, my legs. It burns that on my legs.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see
maybe
the bigger
not.
picture. He
Oh,
doesn't know
no.
the real
I
story,
think I've
trapped
seen
forever in
Star
his narrow
Wars.
vision of what this world is.
I don't want to
Perhaps
do
his death was of
no,
no great loss,
no,
like plucking the
nope,
eyeballs from
nope,
a blind man.
nope, nope.
So he resigned
like this.
and willingly
Nope,
accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell,
You
Stanley.
didn't kill me or not?
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Oh God. Wait, I'm not dead. I thought I died. Maybe I am alive. What is this? The Stanley... whatever.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as
Restart the
alive as
game?
ever. What exactly did the
Well,
narrator think he was going to
okay,
accomplish?
I'm gonna restart the game. Ooh, this is
When
way
every
fancier
path
than
you
the
can walk
office
has been
than
created
the
for you
boss's
long in
office.
advance, death
I don't
becomes
wanna live
meaningless,
here.
making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Button sounds. I almost said butt sounds. Yep, I think we have to like interact with everything because I want to. Is this what I was going through? I don't think I'm dead because I can go through this doorway. If I was dead, I would be collapsed everywhere. Can we click this? Nope, we can't click it. Can we click this plant? The office. Wait. How can you get here? I need to find out how to get wherever the sandy place is. Maybe you click it and you get there? But imagine you did click it and you just go into that painting. Maybe it is true. You can go to paintings. Whoa, money! I can't reach those paintings. What is that? Am I gonna die in these seconds? Did I just do something wrong? Is a nuke about to hit me? Oh, nothing. I was like, did I just do myself? I don't really know what to do. Do I just hit buttons? None of these work. Oh! No, 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 no. This is a movable painting. Nope, nope. Escape. Okay. You see? Yeah, you're right. There is no escape. What is this? Can I jump out this window? Can't do anything. Oh. I feel like this is different. Oh my god. A course. A course. There's an exit. What do you think? Do I go down here? Or do I go through here? What is this? I swear I just saw a button. Hey. What? What? Press it! Press it! Press the button! I don't think you can press the button. I think it's just here to annoy you. But I'm gonna go clearly in the one that says exit. Yeah, because you said always trust signs.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Turn it off. I just turned it off.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
No, I can't see at all,
not.
actually.
Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
So not be what?
But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now, and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Maybe I should have, actually. Yeah, I definitely just died there. Maybe I should have listened to the lady. Well, better turn off my PlayStation. Oh, I think it's too late. I already got crushed into that incinerator. And I'm back. Whoa, I can't even drink coffee? I knew I was a ghost. I can go for my chair.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
We already heard this line, you know?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
You expect me... Well, last time I got in here, so...
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Nope. I'm gonna go to the button. Because I like pressing buttons. That's my job. Not to walk through doorways. But if you said my job was walking through doorways, I would have walked through doorways. But you said my job was...
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go,
Do you even know where I need to go?
From here, it's, left.
Did you just open a door? He doesn't know where it goes, so he just opens
Oh, no. No, it's to the right. My mistake.
Is you close to right door?
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh, dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Did you just open a door just so I could do the story? I wanted to see what was left and right. Oh.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes.
I can see all this.
Okay. We just have to get back to, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning.
No,
And this
please.
time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Willie, I did all that just so you could restart. No?
All of his co-workers were gone. What
Wait,
could it mean?
There's that much
Stanley
levels?
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Now I'm into it. This is a good game. Never actually saw a game this good.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be...
You
did
forgot
something
to open the
change?
2 doors.
Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the
I don't know why
monitors?
this is
Did
so
you move
funny.
the story somewhere, or...
Why is Charles
Hold
blocking
on.
this one door?
Why am I asking you?
That's
I'm the one who
weird.
wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an
Whoa.
adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's
Now I
find
know I
the
did some
story.
progress. Wait, can I just go to that room again? Wait, I don't think I'm supposed to be here. Was this like this before? No, it definitely wasn't an endless maze. Whoa, this is... Oh, wait, is that Saturn?
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was
Well,
a
this
story
is the
here
best
before.
one I've been on.
Do we need to restart the game again?
No, please,
Well, I find it
no.
unlikely that we'll ever
God, no,
progress
please,
by
no,
starting
please,
over and
no.
over again. But it's got to be better
I
than
like
this.
this.
Okay, let's
Stop,
give it a
I like
shot.
this
Why not?
inventor. He always has to do the regular inventor. Probably gonna spawn somewhere way more different.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Whoa, what is that door doing open? Had I already in there before?
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Yeah, that's a better idea. Yeah, how about we just go back? Because you definitely made it worse.
Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Buddy, I think everything's glitching. Whoa! What is this place? Okay, this is definitely not the right place.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this
Yeah,
the
me
story?
too.
I don't think so. I
There
can't
is
quite
no
recall,
story
but
for
I
this
believe
one.
my story took place in
This
an
is the
office building.
wasteland.
Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So,
Can you get this
good
you win
job.
on my screen, off of my screen?
No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
Okay? I don't even know how to
I'm getting
win.
weirded out by whatever this place is. I
didn't
don't care
even know
what
you
might
could
happen
win
this
in
time.
game. I
I
know this
have
was
to
an adventure
restart.
game. And back to the start we go. Or maybe not. Who knows where he spawns me? Well, probably he does. Where? What? No. I'm not going down there. Nope. What are you going to do? Force me?
All right, I've
Nope,
got a solution.
nope.
This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of
Nope.
the Stanley Parable
like it.
Adventure
I don't
Line.
like it.
Just
I
follow
don't
the
like
line.
it.
How simple is that?
Nope. Nope. I'm not going there. Fine. You can do your stupid story too. He's not doing his story? Well, nope. Wait, but I really want to see what's in there. Fine, I'll listen to your stupid yellow line. But where does it even go? Are you gonna jump scare
You see,
me?
the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley,
I'm
to
gonna try
destiny.
to get myself what?
Though, here's a thought.
Really?
Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story?
No.
Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a
No.
destination is inevitably conjured into being via
What?
the very
Didn't
manifestation
you do
of the
that
nature
on
of life
purpose?
itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside
really
of
blocked
your
it with some
subjective
boxes?
experience of this
Why
office,
are
is
these
this
so
office
many
in
notes?
fact
I wanna
the
read
skeleton of
those.
my own relative experiential mental subjective construct?
What?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, you
Hang
want
on.
me to go on the
That got a
wall?
bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going
Can't
with
go
all
on
that.
the wall.
You know what? I think what we need right now
You think
is a
I'm-
bit of music to lighten the mood.
Oh, yes, yes. This is like 2029. I don't like this. See what's on there? Did you become a spider? Nope. I think you got this wrong, buddy. I think that's weird. I don't even want to follow this. I know it's probably gonna go in Whoa, I don't even think I can win this. Please stop this music. I wanted music, but not this
Wait, cut the music, go back and look at that fern.
foam. What do you mean foam?
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Oh, no, not
Yes.
again. Line, how could you have done this to us?
Again.
And after we trusted you,
Wait,
after everything we've been
Fion.
through, you... Oh,
Who
I
is
can't take this
Fion?
anymore. To hell with it.
There's
Restart.
people who have been fired. I'm probably gonna be fired too. Cause I keep bugging around. You made the line again.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us?
No!
We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I
don't
don't
want
know.
to.
How about this direction?
What direction? I don't see a direction, man. Oh. I'm just blind, maybe.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me
Not
and
that
Stanley
exciting.
forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything.
Did you-
What do you want our story to be?
I
Go
don't know.
wild.
About
Use
a
your
dragon?
imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it. Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto
Come
the line
on,
from having any
the
role in our
line.
awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it,
But it's
and we should
only
be
the
fine.
way that is right. Yeah. Did you just make the line going to the roof?
Ah, a choice.
Whoa,
We get
where
to
am
make
I?
a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important, we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe
Where
I
am
need a
I?
minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits. Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant
What's
ending?
the tail here?
And we're supposed to restart the game
Possibly the computer
eight
ending.
times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me?
Can you just
Why don't I get to
can you just
decide?
list out-
Why don't
don't
I
wanna
get a
be
say in all of
confused.
this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it.
Can you just make a room?
And the timer stopped? Does that mean...
What?
did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay.
It's just me and you, buddy.
I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure
no.
if we're in the destination
wouldn't
or
agree
the
at
journey.
all.
Though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the
confused.
destination. So
That
I
is
hope
the
that's where we are right
computer
now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Did you just restart me anyways? You said you didn't want to restart. You restarted anyways. Bro. It's taking a long time to load. What time is it again? I can't read time.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
Well-
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
Wait,
memo.
it's a different way. Usually I go here and then I go here, but okay. At least it's not that line business. Whoa. Okay, it's definitely way more different. Nope. There's more doors than it was before. Wait, what was that? Oh, it was the computer screen. A course. What? What? What the hell?
When Stanley
Hold on.
came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I don't trust it.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
You just shutted that door. I heard a door shut, and that is the door I think you shut.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave
heard
of
those
disbelief,
stupid words.
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret pin. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy. So he relaxed for a few moments with some calming new age music.
I knew that would do something. Now let it open. Am I just stuck here?
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Oh. I did the password for nothing? But I would think that was a secret door. I would think that was a secret door. Can't go up. I guess I have to go down. Wait, no, I don't want to go down. I would go on my decisions. Loading. There's so many loadings. Come on. Nope. But I'm just gonna go back to the same area. Wait, what did I get at? Like, maybe something, maybe like an ending for just horsing around with the elevator?
Whoops, nope. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
I'm gonna go back down. Nope, go down. Nope. What? Whoa. Whoa. This is not. Well, I did not see this meat before. No, I can't use the elevator. Well, Nope.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have. An incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow. I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
2? I thought it was 2845. Did he change it? Okay, I'm gonna keep posting around with this until I get the password right. Or maybe he's just gonna tell me stop. Now that he changed the password, and I can't, like, open it and close it. Oh,
incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
Who knows? Maybe I'm just wondering what will happen. Maybe we'll restart the game.
Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor, won't he?
Nope. Nope. Going back up.
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
That's what I say a lot of times. You copied my line.
Oh my God. It's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this. Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No! No, wait! No! I need more time to process.
What do you need so much time to process? Process. Whatever the word's called.
All right. I have fully... Of course. Going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
Yep, another loading screen. I'm gonna make him mad by more loading screens. More.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Or not. Oh, now he just didn't say anything. Guess he's tired of it.
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize?
Well,
It's the
no.
anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the agony of waiting and
I know what will
anticipating
be there.
and having to
The
guess, that's
boss's
the real
office.
thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow? There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises, to have to think and to anticipate and then to marvel at the eventual reveal? This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years, and it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley. Because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is why... Oh, I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you, so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better. Oh, good, we're here. Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
Hey, this is the wrong place, you know? But I like it. At least it's not that stupid boss's office again. Yay, sweeping babies. That's actually kind of creepy.
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door.
Just through what door? This door? I don't believe you. Going back to the elevator. Oh yeah, you're right. It's closed. My anticipation. I want to go through that door. Well, I want to go through another way.
All right, are you ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry, you'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley. Okay, it looks like they're ready for you. Go get them.
Popular to mannequins? Are you kidding me? These are mannequins! I like... Nope. Okay, Willie. I was about to tell my speech. Come on, if you have a speech, I have a speech. But I didn't even get to tell my speech to all those mannequins. Like if they're gonna listen. We're back here and now it's just gone. Huh, I hear something.
There's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti, get a thing of sugar, some bread, and coffee beans, whichever ones you like. I'll give you a call if there's anything I forgot. Thanks, sweetie. See you tonight.
I have a lover. Oh, new. Well, I want to go follow the story, but...
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
New content means like a new room. Idiots, have you not learned that in school? Maybe I actually don't want... Oh, pretty dark. Another loading screen later. It's just gonna load. I'm in the middle. Oh, there we are. like I shouldn't be in here.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Okay.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Looks like we're going that door.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
You know what? Maybe I don't want to be here. If you survive, I will.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if, Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Give me the content, Stanley.
All right.
Stanley.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
I can do this all day. I wonder what I'll get. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Nothing? That's the new content. Well, I expected more.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Where did that go? Well, just a whiteboard.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what
I'm
happens
trapped.
when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started
Well,
on the
it
level of
looks like we
craftsmanship
work
that's gone into it.
pretty
In
good
fact,
now.
I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game? And we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks.
Come on, man.
Just you and me having a great time together like
Okay, the more
always.
you reset the
What do
game,
you
the
say,
more
friend?
creepier it gets. Well, the more weirder it gets. Ever the end is never the end is never the end is loading never. So it's never loading. Okay. Or maybe I'm just reading it. Whoa! No, this is not the right place. Nope. Where am I? Imagine you could click this and you go inside it. That'd be pretty cool.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something! Oh, you don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. Oh, never mind. You're not a dog.
Okay, you found a screwdriver and a cup. Pretty cool. Oh God! You gave me a panic attack. A panic attack. A panic attack. That's pretty cool. Yay! You gave me a panic attack. And don't mind what I said, a panic attack.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it.
I knew!
Just our little secret.
Escape.
Take a look.
Wait, this is still a dream, you know? So...
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
On PC? This game is on PC? Well, I like it. The Stanley game. Stanley game, I like it. So wait, am I playing the Stanley game?
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
So this achievement go to waste. It is impossible to get this, whatever that says, achievement. Oh, this game got deleted? $1 bill? That's actually kind of detailed though. I was like, it just turned into chests. Those actually do look like chest characters though. No, not 2013 or whatever it says. I'm just gonna walk through his memories because I don't care about it. Unless this one. 431. Oh, there's more. Why do you have to play sad music?
Je suis dans la memory zone.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Okay, now this is getting sad. Is this supposed to be a sad game, a happy game, or whatever game?
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
So, wait, what's over here? Something I started to see, okay.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them. Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people, and if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. But the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can... Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks.
I don't think I should have done that.
Hello, it's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything.
I think he's dead. Yeah, I definitely killed him. No, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this, man. Speak to me! Maybe it wasn't my fault that I hit the button more than one time. I don't know, it's beeping.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth.
Oh, this got sad fast. I don't want to hit it anymore. I don't want to hit it anymore. He's not even watching. The point's dead.
The end is never the end, 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 is never...
This menu button. How much minutes? Oh my God! No! No! I know that, like, this was not here before. Okay, the more I skip, maybe I didn't want to skip him. Freedom. I would rather have him. I just want him back. Oh my God. Whoa! What's happening? What's happening? You know, what happened to all the plants? I feel like scared without him now. Okay, this game definitely got scary fast. Whoa. I can't even skip anymore. Now like I want to. Nope. I can't do it anymore. No. Maybe I should have skipped. What happened? Everything just died. Now, I didn't even know if the pronouncer was even alive. I think I skipped so much he died of old age. Oh, I'm back here.
Hello. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages. If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
Whoa. New contents?
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something
You're alive
very
again.
exciting to show you.
Whoa. We're back here. After all the, things we were doing.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, there's a second one? Oh.
Yes, you see,
It'll be
isn't this
here
far
forever.
superior to a measly port with a
Will
few
you
minor
beat this
additions?
game?
Think of all the new territory
Will
we'll
this
cover
Stanley
with a
free
fully
in
fledged
4 and
sequel.
5 and
An
6
entirely new
2000?
experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Oh, why is there just one store here? Oh.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Hello, can I get a shot? No, I didn't get a shot. That's a bad feature. Well, we just can't go in that door now. We need to actually have fun here.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think?
I like
Ultra
two girls and a
Deluxe?
doll.
What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It's, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
1 out of 6? There's 6 of those? Oh.
God, it
There's
really
6
is the
of them
worst
for
when you
one
collect everything in a video game
and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
What's the point of the jump circles? I can't jump. Get it here. Okay. I don't know what I'm getting, but...
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the trophy will be given to you. It's as simple as... Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
The wall glitching. Oh yeah, it certainly is.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet? Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Happy 12th birthday. 2 or 2? Happy 12th birthday,
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
It's my 12th birthday, though. I want the happy 12th birthday. I hate you, whoever you are. Is that me? I hate you myself.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Maybe you should go with what? Tell me.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Well, let me try it out. I like it. 3, 2, 1.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very excited. Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of... How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do, and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the, teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together. Is this the end of the game?
I can't jump. This guy who would have
Stanley? Stanley! Stanley! Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole. And I'm looking forward to all of them.
Can you just get me out?
Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
No. No. Well, now I'm in the hole forever. Oh, back here.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features. A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2. Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already. Come now, you've already made your choice. It's true that you chose badly, but we all have to move on from our mistakes. All right, have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now? So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Like it. Begin the game. I actually like it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Balloons.
Stanley picked up the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No, said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Good, said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
I'm dead. I died! No! bucket. The bucket didn't save me. And now I'm back here. And this time I'm not gonna pick
All
up
of his
the bucket.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
That I need
Perhaps
to
he had simply
get
missed a
feel
memo.
Good someday. Because they want me to feel good.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. "I'm dreaming!" he yelled. "This is all a dream." Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
And then she saw it.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Oh, the end. Oh, no! Come on, it was so good. No. Now just stuck.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, there's balloons in here too.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Yeah, we know.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley.
Hello, this is the FBI. FBI, open up. I'm not, okay. FBI, open
Oh,
up!
Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting.
FBI,
I'm just pulling the
open
bread
up.
out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha! Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. Sorry, but you're in my story now.
No, how can you make a brick wall like that? Come on. Fine. I'll go through your story, your stupid story. Fine. Okay, you really got me with the brick wall.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
We know. Nope. 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 Fine.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
I wanna hide you.
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Okay, this has been 2 hours. Yeah, I was watching.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
He told me not to. Okay, he told me not to, so I don't want to do it. But it's taking 4 hours. Do you think I should do it? Free. Well, we already know what happened, so...
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
What I see.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried...
Okay, we're dead. No, we're not dead because we can't die, but we're somewhere. Well, you can't die, but just wake up from your dream. And then the lady walks to you, and then she tries to call the ambulance and whatever. And now, it should be a little different. Meeting today. We have a meeting today.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Bucket.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Of course. Because we're not actually trapped. Loading, 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 loading.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket, soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Okay, I believe you.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Escape? Nope, I'm not gonna do that. Whoa.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Whoa, everybody's being watched.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Okay.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter, his one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
How do I take it down if I can barely see? Okay. We're going to the factory. Okay. Facility power. Whatever.
When at last they came to the source of the room's power, Stanley and the bucket knew it was their obligation to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
I really want to turn it off. Just to see what happens with it. Yep. I put an end to this horrible place. Horrible place.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over?
Might be over.
Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and to... What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it.
Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Wow. If we listened, because the tutorial said you could never picked up the bucket. Next time we're going to turn it off without the bucket, because the bucket can't roller skate.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after.
No bucket.
Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Speed on, because I know what he's already said. Ooh, everybody's missing.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
I didn't expect that. I didn't know he would already know the past. Me pressing the button. And another loading screen. And now we go into this foggy place.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Don't do this. Come on. Nope. Come on. Nope. Why are you messing me while I'm playing? You're messing with me while I'm gaming. There's the lights.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
No.
Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Well, at least I'm not that fired guy. I don't know who I am.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
baby, you want me over.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
I did it. Beat the game. That's actually the first reward that I got. It's actually the first reward that I got. Otherwise, I beat the game. It was a gold reward. Gold reward. It's a melting gold reward.
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted.
This is not the one before. Hell no. Hell no. Nope. Stanley.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, bro. He said, where did all my walkers go? Not like, I'm so happy. I don't think Stanley...
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Here's the door, just go.
Oh. I feel like the more I play this game, the more annoyed it gets. And then we press that elevator button. And then we just go, and then we go, and then we go, and then we go. I feel like I'm annoying him. Well,
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Nope.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death. As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Or not, maybe?
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Yeah. Or not.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
I've been dead this whole entire time. I've been dead for 2 minutes. What are you hiding from me? I know what your secrets are. 15. Just go and exit then.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not.
I'm dead.
Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
I'm blind. I can't see anything.
But listen to me. You can still save these two.
Not again.
You can
Not
stop
this
the
game.
program
Give me
before
that.
they both
No,
fail.
no.
Turn off your PlayStation. There's no...
Okay. Oh, okay. You're right. I should. Good job. So that was a good game. Bye.